Welcome back to the channel USA Coins 69, coin collectors, history enthusiasts, and treasure hunters. Today, we are diving into a coin that might seem modern at first glance, yet carries its own fascinating story, the United States of America 1-cent Lincoln penny from 1998. Unlike the historic wheat pennies of the early 20th century, this coin comes from an era of change and modernization, a time when America was booming technologically, culturally, and economically. The year 1998 marked the height of the dot-com era. Computers and the internet were beginning to transform how people worked, communicated, and lived. Music was dominated by pop icons, movies captivated audiences worldwide, and the country was entering the closing years of a decade that defined a generation. Yet amidst all this progress, Americans still used coins like the humble Lincoln cent every single day. What might seem like an ordinary piece of currency to many is actually a collectible with unique stories and subtle variations that can make it incredibly valuable to the right person. The 1998 Lincoln penny continues the design that has been iconic for generations. Abraham Lincoln's portrait graces the obverse of the coin, a design first introduced by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday. On the obverse, you see Lincoln's calm and dignified face, the word liberty to his left, and in God we trust above him. Beneath the portrait is the year 1998, giving the coin its identity in the timeline of American numismatics. The reverse of the coin features the Lincoln Memorial, a design that had been in place since 1959. This reverse honors the nation's tribute to the 16th president, capturing the grandeur of the memorial while reflecting the values of unity, freedom, and perseverance that Lincoln represents. The inscriptions 1 cent, United States of America, and E pluribus unum remind collectors that even a small coin can carry big symbolism. The Lincoln Memorial on the reverse also offers an added layer of detail that can make certain coins more desirable when their features are particularly sharp and well-defined. While millions of Lincoln cents were minted in 1998, what sets certain coins apart for collectors is condition, mint mark, and any unusual characteristics. This year saw production at 3 mints, Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with a D, and San Francisco with an S. The vast majority of these coins were circulated in daily commerce, often losing their original copper shine and developing scratches, spots, or other imperfections. However, when a coin is preserved in uncirculated condition, with full original color and no significant marks, it becomes a sought-after collectible. Collectors often search for coins with subtle variations that occurred during the minting process. In 1998, errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, or die cracks are highly prized because they are one-of-a-kind pieces. Even small anomalies can dramatically increase a coin's value. These coins are more than currency. They are artifacts of a minting process, frozen in time as accidental yet rare historical curiosities. Another factor that can elevate the value of a 1998 penny is its color and surface preservation. Coins with deep, rich copper tones, no fading, and sharp details are far rarer than worn or circulated examples. The eye appeal of a coin is critical for collectors, and pristine specimens often become the centerpiece of a collection. Even coins from the late 20th century, which might seem modern, can command extraordinary prices when in exceptional condition. Beyond physical characteristics, the 1998 Lincoln penny represents a snapshot of America in the late 90s. It circulated during a period of optimism, technological growth, and cultural excitement. It witnessed the rise of the internet, cell phones, and new forms of entertainment, all while quietly passing from hand to hand in countless daily transactions. For collectors, owning one is more than just possessing a piece of metal, it's owning a piece of modern American history. Professional grading and certification are crucial for establishing the value of these coins. Grading determines a coin's condition on a scale from circulated to mint state, with the highest grades commanding the most attention and value. Even within mint state coins, minor differences in luster, strike quality, and surface preservation can impact the final market price. Top-quality 1998 pennies are therefore highly desirable among collectors, numismatists, and investors alike. And now, for the moment you've been waiting for, the remarkable auction value that a 1998 Lincoln penny can achieve when found in exceptional, near-perfect condition. One of the finest examples ever sold at auction fetched the extraordinary total of $1,200. Today, we're going to dive into a coin that might seem modern at first glance, yet has a fascinating story of its own, the United States 1-cent Lincoln penny from 1985. At first glance, it might look like any other penny in your pocket, but for collectors and numismatists, this coin carries layers of history, subtle variations, and hidden value that can make it a surprising treasure. The year 1985 was a dynamic time in America. The country was in the midst of a technological and cultural transformation. Personal computers were becoming household items, music and movies defined an entire generation, and everyday life was rapidly changing. Amid all this progress, Americans continued to carry small coins in their pockets, coins that would circulate quietly, moving from cash registers to wallets, jars, and piggy banks. The 1985 Lincoln penny, a coin that many may overlook, has become an object of fascination because of its place in this era and the potential value it holds. The obverse of the coin features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design that has been on the penny since 1909. Victor David Brenner's depiction of Lincoln shows the 16th president in a calm, thoughtful pose. The word liberty is inscribed to the left, "In God We Trust" is above, and the year 1985 is stamped below. For over 75 years, Lincoln's portrait has been an enduring symbol of unity, leadership, and perseverance, and even in the 1980s, it continued to remind Americans of these core values. On the reverse, the coin showcases the Lincoln Memorial, a design that has been in circulation since 1959. The memorial represents more than just a national monument, it stands as a tribute to Lincoln's enduring legacy and the principles he fought for. The inscriptions 1 cent, United States of America, and E pluribus unum remind us that even the smallest coin carries the weight of history and the story of a nation. The reverse is finely detailed, and in coins that have been well preserved, collectors can see the columns of the memorial and other intricate features clearly, making the coin not only a piece of currency but a small work of art. What makes the 1985 Lincoln penny interesting to collectors is a combination of condition, mint mark, and rare variations. Coins were minted at Philadelphia, which carries no mint mark, and Denver, which carries AD. Most coins from this year were heavily circulated, and many have lost their original copper shine, showing scratches, discoloration, or wear. However, uncirculated examples with full luster and sharp details are much rarer and highly sought after. The demint coins in high-grade condition are particularly valuable because fewer of them have survived in pristine form compared to their Philadelphia counterparts. Error coins are another exciting factor that makes the 1985 penny desirable. Coins with double dies, off-center strikes, weak strikes, or other minting anomalies can be worth many times the value of a regular penny. These errors are unique to each coin and give collectors a chance to own something truly one-of-a-kind, a coin that stands out in a world of mass-produced currency. The 1985 Lincoln penny also captures a snapshot of everyday American life. It passed from hand to hand during a decade of growth, change, and innovation. It might have bought a soda from a vending machine, paid for a newspaper, or been saved in a jar by a child dreaming of the future. Each penny from this era is a small witness to the culture, the economy, and the routines of Americans during the mid-80s. Professional grading is essential for collectors who want to understand the true value of a 1985 penny. Coins are graded on a scale from circulated to mint state, with differences in luster, surface preservation, and sharpness of details affecting the price dramatically. Even minor improvements in grade can lead to substantial increases in auction value, particularly for coins with excellent eye appeal. Collectors love this coin not only for its monetary potential but also for its connection to history, art, and culture. Holding a 1985 Lincoln penny in uncirculated condition is like holding a small time capsule from an era of optimism, change, and growth. It reminds us that even the smallest objects can carry great stories and historical significance. And now, for the moment many have been waiting for, the impressive auction value that a 1985 Lincoln penny can achieve in exceptional, near-perfect condition. One of the finest examples ever sold at auction brought in the remarkable total of $900. Today, we're going to explore a coin that many people pass by without a second thought, yet it has its own fascinating story and hidden value. the United States 1-cent Lincoln penny from 1984. At first glance, it might look like a standard penny, but for collectors and numismatists, this coin represents a piece of modern American history and has a potential worth that might surprise you. The year 1984 was a unique and transformative time in America. The country was in the middle of the Reagan era, experiencing economic growth, cultural shifts, and technological progress. Personal computers were entering homes, music and movies defined generational experiences, and everyday life was changing rapidly. Even amid all this transformation, the small Lincoln penny quietly circulated, passing from pocket to pocket, wallet to cash register, jar to jar, silently witnessing a nation in motion. The obverse of the coin features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design created by Victor David Brenner over 75 years earlier in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday. Lincoln's solemn, thoughtful expression continues to be an enduring symbol of unity and leadership. The word liberty is inscribed to the left, "In God We Trust" appears above, and the year 1984 is stamped at the bottom. Even decades after its introduction, this portrait continues to remind Americans of the principles Lincoln represented and the enduring legacy he left behind. The reverse of the coin showcases the Lincoln Memorial, a design that has been in circulation since 1959. The memorial, depicted in fine detail, honors the 16th president and serves as a reminder of the nation's unity and perseverance. The inscriptions 1 cent, United States of America, and E pluribus unum complete the design. In coins that are well preserved, collectors can see intricate details, such as the columns of the memorial and even tiny features of the statue of Lincoln within, which can dramatically enhance the coin's appeal and value. While millions of Lincoln pennies were minted in 1984, collectors look for specific factors that make some coins far more valuable than others. The mint marks are an important consideration. Coins were produced at the Philadelphia Mint with no mint mark and at the Denver Mint with AD. Most coins that circulated show wear, loss of copper luster, and minor scratches, but uncirculated coins, especially those from the Denver Mint, are highly prized for their rarity and condition. Error coins are another fascinating aspect of this year. Collectors seek out pennies with double dies, off-center strikes, or weakly struck features because these coins are essentially one of a kind. These errors occur during the minting process and give each coin a unique story, transforming an ordinary penny into a highly collectible treasure. Even small variations in design, weight, or metal composition can make a coin extremely desirable in the eyes of collectors. The 1984 Lincoln penny also tells a story of everyday life during the mid-80s. It could have purchased a soda, a newspaper, or a small snack, or it might have been tucked into a child's piggy bank, saving for the future. Every coin is a silent witness to the culture, economy, and daily routines of Americans during this decade. Holding one today is not just holding currency, it's holding a piece of history, a small fragment of a world that existed more than 35 years ago. Professional grading plays a vital role in determining a coin's value. Coins are graded on a scale from circulated to mint state, with differences in luster, surface preservation, and detail impacting the market price significantly. Even slight differences in grade can result in a substantial increase in value. Coins that retain full copper color, crisp details, and flawless surfaces are extremely rare and are considered the crown jewels for collectors of modern Lincoln pennies. Collectors value this coin not only for its potential monetary worth but also for its historical and cultural significance. It represents an era of optimism, innovation, and social change. For numismatists, owning a pristine 1984 Lincoln penny is like holding a small window into the past, a connection to the people, culture, and economy of the mid-1980s. And now, the moment many of you have been waiting for, the astonishing auction value that a 1984 Lincoln penny can achieve in exceptional, near-perfect condition. One of the finest known examples ever sold at auction brought in the incredible total of $800. Today, we're turning our attention to a coin that many of us might overlook in our daily lives, yet it carries a quiet charm, historical significance, and even potential monetary value: the United States 1-cent Lincoln penny from 1990. At first glance, it might seem like an ordinary coin you could find in your pocket or at the bottom of a drawer, but for collectors and numismatists, this penny tells a story about America at the start of a transformative decade and can even hold surprising value if found in exceptional condition. The year 1990 was a pivotal moment in American history. The country was transitioning from the technological advances of the 80s into the innovations of the 90s. Computers were becoming increasingly common, the internet was beginning to reshape communication and commerce, and popular culture was in the midst of defining a new era of music, film, and fashion. Amid all of this, the Lincoln penny quietly circulated, passing from hand to hand in everyday transactions, silently witnessing the routines, dreams, and small moments of Americans across the country. The obverse of the coin features the timeless portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design created by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Lincoln's profile, calm and contemplative, continues to be a symbol of unity, leadership, and perseverance. The inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" flank the design, while the year 1990 is stamped at the bottom. This design has endured for decades, reminding us of the values and history Lincoln represents, even as the world around him changes dramatically. The reverse of the coin depicts the Lincoln Memorial, a design first introduced in 1959. The memorial stands as a tribute to Lincoln's enduring legacy, representing freedom, justice, and the unity of the nation. The inscriptions "1 cent, United States of America," and "E pluribus unum" frame the memorial, emphasizing the country's identity and values. In coins that are well preserved, the details of the memorial are crisp and sharp, with the columns and other intricate elements clearly visible, adding aesthetic and collectible appeal to the coin. While millions of Lincoln pennies were minted in 1990, the key factors that make certain coins valuable today are condition, mint mark, and any unusual features. The coins were produced at 3 mints: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with a D, and San Francisco with an S. Most of these coins entered circulation and show varying degrees of wear and discoloration, but uncirculated examples, particularly from the Denver and San Francisco mints, are rarer and more desirable. Collectors also seek out error coins, which are coins with anomalies produced during the minting process. In 1990, double dies, off-center strikes, and other subtle errors could occur, creating coins that are essentially one-of-a-kind. These error coins are especially prized because they capture a mistake in production, turning an ordinary penny into a collectible treasure that stands out among millions of standard issues. Even small variations in strike quality, surface texture, or metal composition can greatly increase the desirability and value of a coin. Another important factor is the color and surface preservation of the coin. Coins that retain their original copper-red hue, have sharp details, and show minimal wear are far less common than circulated examples. These well-preserved coins are considered the top tier for collectors and can command significant attention and prices in the marketplace. The combination of rarity, condition, and historical significance drives the interest of collectors who specialize in modern Lincoln pennies. The 1990 Lincoln penny also serves as a cultural and historical snapshot of early 90s America. It was in circulation during a time of optimism, innovation, and change. It could have been used to buy a soda, a newspaper, or a small treat, or it might have been tucked away in a child's piggy bank, destined to be discovered decades later. Each penny from this year is a small witness to the culture, economy, and daily life of Americans during this era, making it much more than just currency. Professional grading is a crucial part of the coin collecting world. Grading determines a coin's condition and helps establish its value. Coins are graded on a scale from circulated to mint state, and small differences in luster, sharpness of details, and surface preservation can result in significant differences in value. High-grade 1990 Lincoln pennies, particularly those with original red color and flawless surfaces, are especially coveted among collectors and can become a centerpiece in any collection. Collectors and investors alike value this coin not only for its potential auction price but also for its connection to history and culture. Holding a pristine 1990 Lincoln penny is like holding a tangible piece of the early 90s, a small but meaningful reminder of a time of technological growth, social change, and everyday life in America. And now, the moment many have been waiting for, the remarkable auction value a 1990 Lincoln penny can achieve when found in exceptional, near-perfect condition. One of the finest known examples ever sold at auction achieved the impressive total of $500. Today, we're diving into a coin that might seem familiar and ordinary at first glance, yet carries its own story, historical significance, and collectible potential, the United States 1-cent Lincoln penny from 1993. While this penny might appear just like any other in your pocket or jar, for collectors, it represents a unique snapshot of modern American life, minting craftsmanship, and the subtle details that can turn a simple coin into a valuable treasure. The year 1993 was a fascinating period in American history. The country was entering a decade defined by rapid technological growth, shifting cultural trends, and economic changes. Computers were becoming more widespread in homes and offices, music and movies were shaping a generation, and everyday life was in a state of transition. Amid all of this, the Lincoln penny quietly circulated, traveling from wallets to cash registers, vending machines, and coin jars, silently observing the rhythms of American life. The obverse of the coin features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, a design first introduced by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday. Lincoln's profile, calm and dignified, continues to be a symbol of unity, perseverance, and leadership. The inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" flank his portrait, while the year 1993 is stamped below. This enduring design has reminded generations of Americans about Lincoln's legacy, even as the world around the penny evolved dramatically. On the reverse side, the coin depicts the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959. The memorial stands as a tribute to Lincoln's enduring ideals of freedom, justice, and unity. The inscriptions "1 cent, United States of America," and "E pluribus unum" frame the monument, emphasizing both the value of the coin and its symbolic meaning. In well-preserved coins, the columns of the memorial and the small details of Lincoln's statue within can be clearly seen, enhancing both the aesthetic and collectible appeal. Although millions of Lincoln pennies were minted in 1993, not all coins are created equal in the eyes of collectors. Key factors such as condition, mint mark, and subtle variations make certain pennies far more desirable. The coins were produced at the Philadelphia Mint with no mint mark, the Denver Mint with AD, and the San Francisco Mint with an S. Most coins from this year entered circulation and show varying degrees of wear, discoloration, and loss of original luster, making uncirculated examples in pristine condition far more rare and valuable. Error coins also play a fascinating role in the collectible world. Doubling of dies, off-center strikes, and weakly struck features are examples of anomalies that can occur during the minting process. These mistakes transform ordinary coins into unique collectibles that stand out from the millions of standard pennies produced that year. Even small variations in strike, surface texture, or color can dramatically increase a coin's desirability and value. Color and surface preservation are critical in determining a coin's market appeal. Coins that retain their original copper red hue, feature sharp details, and show minimal wear are extremely rare, particularly for pennies minted in the 1990s. These coins are highly sought after by collectors and often serve as centerpiece items in modern penny collections. The combination of rarity, visual appeal, and historical context drives the interest of numismatists and investors alike. The 1993 Lincoln penny also provides a glimpse into everyday American life during this era. It may have purchased a soda, a newspaper, or a small snack, or it may have been tucked away in a child's piggy bank, destined to be rediscovered decades later. Each coin serves as a silent witness to the culture, economy, and daily experiences of Americans at the time, making it much more than just a small piece of metal. Professional grading is an essential step in determining the value of a 1993 Lincoln penny. Coins are graded on a scale from circulated to mint state, with luster, sharpness, and surface quality significantly impacting their market value. High-grade examples with original color and flawless surfaces are considered top-tier coins and can command attention from serious collectors around the world. Owning a pristine 1993 Lincoln penny is more than just owning currency, it's holding a tangible piece of history. It connects collectors to the culture, economy, and technological transformations of the early 90s. It reminds us that even the smallest objects can tell a story, and that careful preservation can transform everyday coins into treasures. And now, the moment many of you have been waiting for, the impressive auction value that a 1993 Lincoln penny can reach when found in exceptional, near-perfect condition. One of the finest examples ever sold at auction achieved the remarkable total of $250.